Okay, finally today, the State Building Code Council is accepting public comments on their proposed changes for the 2024 Energy Code. Now, Building Industry Association of Washington is hoping that people who want to protect energy choice, things like natural gas, and want to keep housing costs down, will tell SBCC what they think, what they want, what kind of choices they think are necessary, balancing all that against, some of the environmental motivations from the State Building Code Council. So, what exactly is the SBCC? Who are these people that are making such big decisions and have so much power? A little explanation here from Greg Lane, who is the vice president for the Building Industry Association of Washington.
Because I don't think people really know that the Building Code Council exists or what what its authority is, and it's really important because they have an amazing impact, a huge impact on the cost of housing. And the Building Code Council is an appointed body. It's so they're not elected officials that serve on the council. And originally, the Building Code Council was set up for a great reason. That is to come up with standards for construction around health and safety of construction, which we fully support. I mean, we need to have a uniform set of standards that make sure that people are building homes and commercial buildings that are going to be safe for people to live in them, right? I mean, that's fundamental. The problem is over the last 10 to 15 years, really under Governor Inslee, the Building Code Council was politicized, and they transitioned out of kind of that fundamental responsibility of health and safety and really got into energy efficiency. And Governor Inslee realized that, I can't get these policies necessarily passed through the legislature, so I'm going to use this body that I appoint people to appoint ideologues to serve on the Building Code Council and focus solely on the energy code and requirements around that. And so they have dramatically increased the energy code, what is now required of builders when it comes to energy efficiency in homes, which on face isn't a bad thing, but they have taken it to such a degree, and they never consider the cost associated with the changes that they implement. So even though they're required to do cost analysis based on those changes, they always just ignore them, and it's really not a consideration. And so over the since 2019, so over about the last 15, 16 years, they've added over $40,000 to the cost of every new home that is built in the state of Washington, just with the increases in the energy code changes alone. We now have some of the highest energy code requirements in the entire country, and every increase that they make adds thousands of dollars to the home, but it's just this incremental savings in terms of energy efficiency. And so for homeowners, they pay all this up front for those costs, and then they never see a return on those investments in terms of energy efficiency and energy savings in their energy bills.
So BIAW went through some of the proposed energy code changes that are being considered and kind of rated them from these are great, these ones are okay if they make some changes, and these ones are really bad, ones they call the worst. And the worst, according to BIAW, is the fact that SBCC is still looking to discourage and penalize natural gas furnaces. If you, like me, have a natural gas furnace, this is not good news. Eventually, they want to force people to replace those. Or when you go to sell your home, you have to account for the replacement cost to put in an electric furnace for the person purchasing your home. The seller, would be on the hook for that. So it effectively requires these efficiency targets for buildings based on what type of fuel you're using. Now, electric heat pumps get a lot more credit. They get twice the additional credit requirements, according to BIAW. And this, I should remind, is beside the fact that voters passed Initiative 2066. That was to retain natural gas as an energy choice. And that came as a result of the state really moving in this direction to ban natural gas. But you may recall then voters, again, overwhelmingly approved that measure, and then it was challenged. The constitutionality of that measure was challenged in King County Superior Court, and a judge found that she believed it violated the single subject rule and that voters might have been confused by what they were voting on. So then it went to the state Supreme Court, and there were arguments. Now, that was at the beginning of this year. Now, we were hoping there would be a decision by now in the summer period for the state court when they issue their rulings, but that hasn't happened. So likely going to be this fall before the ruling comes. So from BIAW's perspective, since we still have this decision out there pending from the state Supreme Court, they don't think that SBCC should be moving ahead, amending the energy code to still effectively ban natural gas. So that's kind of their take on it anyway. Now, SBCC is holding a series of public hearings, and they're kind of getting those are kind of winding down, but you can also submit written comments about some of these proposed residential energy code changes at the website sbcc at des.wa.gov. Now, if that was too much to get, I'm putting up an article this afternoon on the Center Square Washington's page. We'll have a link to where you can provide those written comments for the State Building Code Council. And again, with the deadline of August 7th, we've got just until what, a week from Friday when those comments will be accepted. So that's a wrap on today's episode of Washington in Focus Daily. Always appreciate you watching. Please like and subscribe to our podcast. That helps us out. Really appreciate you watching as always. And we'll see you again, I hope, on Wednesday.